AITA for embarrassing my cousin and getting us kicked out of a restaurant? IF, 25. Don't have kids yet. I never really wanted them growing up, but I figure I'll eventually have kids in the future once I get my life together. My cousin Sarah, 29, has 2 bad-behaved kids from a previous relationship and a newborn baby with her boyfriend MJ, 40. Last night my mother, sister, Sarah and I went to a sushi restaurant, and this was my first time having sushi. After we ordered, I had a hard time using the chopsticks. My cousin started obnoxiously laughing. The waiter came over and asked me if I wanted training wheels, which is a little plastic item that attaches to the chopsticks and helps you hold them in place. My cousin laughed and said, "Sorry about her, she constantly embarrasses herself and us." I just gave her the side eye and put the training wheels on. When it was time to order desserts, her boyfriend MJ finally joined us, claiming that he was busy. She went on to tell him how stupid and slow I was for not knowing how to use chopsticks and how the waiters and everyone around now know that I'm an embarrassment. My mom asked her what her problem was and she goes on a rant about how I'm so embarrassing and it's no wonder I'm jealous of her being a mother, and no one wants to have kids with me. I finally had enough. I said, I don't have kids because I don't want them to come out like your rude pieces of shit, and you're calling me an embarrassment? Didn't MJ just have a baby on you with his wife? Your baby literally has a sibling a week apart from her. You probably learned how to use chopsticks by eating his wife's leftovers. I guess when she was attacking me it was fine because everyone turned on me. It got so loud that management had to get involved. Sarah was screaming and crying, MJ was yelling at me, and my mom and sister were berating me for being mean. Management brought the bill and told us to please pay it and leave. My mom paid the entire bill, but my sister said I'm an awe for embarrassing Sarah and getting us kicked out, and how she's probably going through postpartum depression. Now, IDK if I went too far, seeing as she's probably going through some post-baby stress. AITA? AITA for not being upset that my friend's dog could die because of me? I was hosting a big garden party at the weekend. I invited my entire friend group plus their partners. One of my friend takes her dog everywhere. I told her no pets were allowed. Although it was a garden party, we were in and out of my home and I have 4 cats. My cats do not like dogs and neither do I anyway. My friend showed up with her dog. I told her that her dog was not welcome in my home or garden, and asked her to please take her dog home or elsewhere. I thought my friend left. I went inside to sort some things out. I went into my garden about 15 minutes later and my friend was standing there in my garden talking to our friends. She doesn't live that close, so I was confused. I went to ask her how she got back so quickly. She told me she just popped in and was going since her dog isn't welcome. I asked her where her dog is and she shrugged her shoulders and said he was around. I went looking and found him at the bottom of the garden eating my crops and making a mess. I was angry and told my friend to get her dog off my property. A few hours later she called me asking me what her dog ate. I had no clue. My gardener plants and attends everything. I told her I didn't know, but told her he'd made a huge mess, dug things up and clearly eaten things. She shouted at me that her dog is sick and that I need to find out what the dog ate. I told her I had no idea, but I'd text my gardener to ask, but it was really her problem. I did send the text, but my gardener didn't answer. My friend called again wanting to know what her dog ate, but I told her I still didn't know. She told me I obviously don't care if her dog dies and called me an aw. I still don't know what her dog ate, but apparently he is very sick and might die. I feel bad, but I told her not to bring her dog on my property, so I don't feel responsible like she says I am. AITA? ETA. After being unable to reach my gardener, I took pictures of everything the dog dug up, which was a lot, and sent them to my friend, but I have no idea what it ate and what it just dug up, and for all I know what it ate isn't even pictured because the whole section is a mess. This wasn't good enough for her. She wants me to tell her exactly what it ate and I just don't know and don't want to spend hours trying to figure it out when I don't even know if it can be figured out. AITA for splashing women with water at the pool? Swimming is my F31 hobby and how I keep healthy. My favorite swimming pool is local university pool. As a graduate I have access, but they also have community hours when people from the town can pay and swim. It doesn't do lane swimming, but typically everyone knows to stay away from those doing laps. I was doing laps at the far end with the pool wall on my side, so I couldn't move if I wanted to. I was mid-session when two women my age jumped right in front of me and just stood there by the wall on the shallow end. I couldn't stop in time and pushed from the wall between them, forcing them to move aside. I was being more careful next lap, but they just kept standing there. There was plenty of space on the other side of the pool where they could stand and chat without bothering anyone, but they chose to stand right in front of me. So I continued swimming, pushing from the wall. If they refused to move, I just turned in water, making sure to make a big splash. I took a break to drink some water and one of them started screaming at me how I got her hair all wet. Told her it's her fault and continued swimming. She waited for me in the changing rooms and went on about how I was inconsiderate and I ruined her hair. I told her to UCK off. She started going off at me, started screaming, calling me an AmItheAsshole and H. I grabbed my stuff and went to one of the cubicles to have a shower and change. When I was leaving, they were talking to the manager. One of them was crying about her hair. I told my sister and she thinks I was an AmItheAsshole, but I didn't think so before. Now, with my sister agreeing, I worry that I might have been. AITA? Edit. Just to add, I was the only person there when they came in. They had the whole pool to stand. They chose to purposefully stand in front of me, without swimming at all. Edit 2. The pool is 25 meters long and you swim lengthwise, from deep to shallow end and back. They had whole shallow end wall free except for the meter or so I used for kicking off. I didn't take the whole shallow end. Who would do laps there, except for kids? Edit 3. While there's no designated lap lanes, lap swimming isn't forbidden. Typically, during open swim, 75% of swimmers do lap swimming. Edit 4. They weren't older ladies, they were about my age, early 30s. Edit 5. I didn't leave the pool to grab water. I had water on the edge along with my other stuff, for drills or my earplugs, etc. This is perfectly normal and acceptable. AITA for saying my last goodbyes to a kid I used to nanny for? I, 28F, have been the nanny to this sweet, little kid Franny, 8, for the past 3 years. She's honestly such an angel and I was super lucky to get to take care of her since we got along well and she never really started any trouble. It was also nice since they live in the same apartment complex as me. Anyways, I recently just started dating again for the first time since then due to a rough breakup. I ran into Fran's parents while out on a date with my girlfriend who made it pretty clear they were uncomfortable that I was gay. Literally that night, I got a sudden text message saying they found a new nanny that worked better for their needs and that I wouldn't be welcome in their home again and not to contact them. I'm still pissed off, because we got along all fine. Until they realized I was a lesbian? Anyways, I went the next morning to question them in person since they live a floor up from me and saw they had gotten the neighbor to babysit who recognized me and invited me in. Edit. I didn't go in and her parents were normally home during this time, so I expected to talk to them instead. Fran saw me from outside the door, so I kinda loosely said I wouldn't be seeing her for a while, but I cared for her very much. I felt that I couldn't just abandon this kid who I've been watching for years now without a reason. Anyways, her parents ended up banging on my door today and yelling me out saying I went behind their back to manipulate their kid. Just wanted to hear what people say because I guess he could have emailed. Called first asking to see Franny one last time to clear things but went over in person instead. Update. Well, things escalated quickly. I sent Tame a final email asking for my final paycheck and TO apologized for showing up at their door. Not Sharu, but someone chucked a couple dollars worth of spare change at my door upside down. Face, thank God my lease is coming up. Time to start apartment hunting. Thanks for all the kind words, y'all. Hopefully Fran is all good. AITA. Wife doesn't like having the day off or my card. So here is my question to the Reddit world. Am I this asshole here? My wife told me yesterday, all I want for Mother's Day is to have the day completely off. I don't need or want anything else. I confirmed with her multiple times, and then started planning a day for my 2 boys and I today comes by. I intercept my oldest son at 7 a.m. before he comes into our room. We go downstairs to watch his favorite morning show and to eat breakfast. The moment I heard my youngest wake up, I got him out of his crib and downstairs. We finish breakfast, and I have them start working on handmade cards for my wife. When I hear her get up, we surprise her with the cards from the kids. Here is where things go wrong. My wife asks me, "Did you write me anything?" I told her I was working on it, but wasn't done. Had been busy with the kids and wanted to finish it. She was not happy. I quickly finish it up and sent it to her. A note on this, I'm not a very well-spoken person. I have a hard time putting my thoughts together, so I used Google to turn my thoughts into a letter. She knows I struggle in this area. I come inside, and she tells me that I plagiarized and used Google for her letter. I told her I absolutely did, but that the main points were mine. I then sent her the original, and she scoffed and said, "That's it? So Reddit, am I the Asshole for using Google to make myself sound elegant? Am I the Asshole for not writing enough in my original?" Final thought. She told me all she wanted was a day off. She is still getting that, and is currently out with all her girlfriends. Quick edit. Had an awesome day with my boys. Wife was nowhere to be found for most of it. And I have to say, it's the best day my boys and I, have had in a while. Edit number 2. I just saw a post on Facebook about how she's had an awesome day with the boys. She's still out with her girlfriends getting her nails, hair done. Edit number 3. Final. Kids are in bed. Wife just got home and asked me if I still planned on working out tonight. I straight up told her I was exhausted and going to bed. She's now not talking to me. I'm so done with her attitude and the drama she brings to the table.